As far as business-wise, none, nothing, dead.
Government shutdown hurting real people. How the federal stalemate is putting a private pier out of business. Controversy at the Department of Health and Human Services continues. Why our state's auditor is showing concern. Plus, local students passed out cold. What sent them to the hospital and landed the school on lockdown. And suicide or sexual mistake. Why the prison death of a man accused of kidnapping is getting a second look. 9 on Your Side, Night Side begins right now.
This is 9 on Your Side at 11.
Good evening. Thanks so much for inviting us in tonight. I'm Jeff Varner. A bad week keeps getting worse for our state's Department of Health and Human Services. State Auditor Beth Wood says department officials did not answer key concerns in Tuesday's hearing about the NC TRACS Medicaid billing system. She wants Secretary Aldana Vaush to explain why the state went live with a system that an independent assessment found is full of major problems. Wood says there's evidence the system had big security issues before the launch, and she complains they implemented that system without any criteria to determine if it was actually ready to use. Wood performed an audit in May that raised those 3 issues, and she wants the secretary to address them. Along with the technical issues, we've learned the state's Medicaid program could be running out of money. The state budget office says it is too early in the fiscal year to tell how far the budget will go, but lawmakers are still worried nonetheless. Despite setting aside more than $500 million, our legislators say the budget did not take into account the hundreds of millions of dollars in claims from hospitals and doctors caused by the delays in the NC TRACS billing system. The governor blames Medicaid problems for not being able to give teachers a raise. Finally, a sign of teamwork in Washington, D.C. Democrats and Republicans are showing signs of cooperation. Both parties sat down today and appear to have found some common ground. Danielle Nottingham has more from Capitol Hill.
House Republican leaders returned to the Capitol after their sit-down with the president without announcing a deal, but they're still working with the White House on a way to end the standoff.
The president said that he would go and consult with the administration folks, and hopefully we can see a way forward.
GOP leaders took a proposal to the White House that includes extending the government's ability to borrow money until November 22nd in exchange for broader budget negotiations. Earlier in the day, the White House suggested the president was open to the idea.
A clean bill raising the debt ceiling for 6 weeks were to hit his desk, he would sign that.
The Treasury Secretary came to Capitol Hill Thursday to warn lawmakers there would be irrevocable damage to the economy if they fail to raise the debt limit by October 17th. Democrats have concerns about another short-term fix.
For however long it is, 5-6 weeks. Then come Thanksgiving, we're going to be back in the soup again.
Republicans say granting a debt limit extension would lead to negotiations to reopen the government.
We are meeting the president halfway, and we expect him in like manner to respond.
Hundreds of thousands of federal workers have been off the job without pay since October 1st. Danielle Nottingham, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Less than 2 hours ago, women and children in the WIC program got some very good news. The State Department of Health and Human Services announced it secured funding to continue that program. WIC is a federal nutrition program for women, babies, and children, and the federal government shutdown hit that program hard, causing providers to search for other ways to get money to feed needy families there. But they do have the money for that now. Before that announcement, though, Food Lion donated $500,000 to several North Carolina food banks to help people who lost those WIC food vouchers. Food Lion's donations come in the form of $5 gift cards. The Food Bank of Central and Eastern North Carolina received $40,000 worth of those cards today. New tonight, President Obama signed a bill into law that'll solve our military death benefits situation. A Pentagon spokesperson said yesterday the government shutdown keeps the Department of Defense from paying families after a military death. Earlier today, the Senate followed House Republicans and approved a bill allowing benefits to be paid to families of troops killed overseas. With the president's signature, the Pentagon can start paying families again who lost a loved one serving our country. The government shutdown is killing business at a privately owned pier on the Outer Banks. The government did not specifically close the pier, but it does sit on the Cape Hatteras National Seashore National Park that is now closed to visitors. Deborah Morgan has the story.
The Cape Hatteras National Seashore is mostly closed, shut down, not accepting visitors. The Avon Fishing Pier is much the same.
As far as business-wise, none, nothing, dead, non-existent.
The pier is privately operated as a concession within the park.
Hello?
And pier operator Keith Matthews says the Park Service told him to close.
Depends on the government. I can't give you a tone. I've tried to open and I can't, so.
Now the cash register is idle, the beer cooler closed, the only merchandise moving, the wind chimes as a storm rocks the building.
We've got 8 employees here that right now they're not working. They're laid off, and I basically have told them that it's a good time to apply for unemployment.
Rough seas ahead unless the pier can reopen soon.
I guess I'm mad with the whole political group now that they can't get together like people and sit down and negotiate something and get the government back up and running. These are what we're known for this time of year. It's a large red drum.
It's the height of the fall fishing season.
2-3 years worth of pictures.
It's not unusual for hurricanes to shut the pier down for a few days, but this political blow-up may be the toughest storm yet.
It's just as bad. Hurricane comes and goes quickly. The Park Service is staying.
That was Deborah Morgan reporting there from the Outer Banks. As the weekend approaches, I'm not too sure all that rain you just saw there is going to be going away anytime soon. Chief Meteorologist David Sawyer, what do you think, sir?
Jeff, it's going to stick around as we look at Live Viper 9 even into the 11 o'clock hour this evening. Still some spotty showers and even some decent rains falling across southern portions of Wilson County, also into northwestern Pitt County and extending into northeastern portions of Greene County. For example, near Saratoga right now, this little shower activity falling pretty steadily. As we look farther to the southeast, southeastern Pitt County, also into northwestern Craven County and northeast Lenoir County, from say around Tick Bight over toward Calico and even on in toward the Clay Root and Honolulu area, this little light rain shower. Some little spritzes of rain also down the Pamlico River just south of there near Aurora this evening. So our forecast with temperatures in the upper 50s to lower 60s. We're going to hold there for the rest of tonight, and we'll go with those spotty showers, some drizzle too. And with that cloudy sky, let's put a little sunshine in it, and some unique sunshine at that. Check out this sunset. Ray, thanks for sending us in from Simpson. This is a shadow, not a funnel cloud. But I tell you what, Jeff, that's a unique picture, isn't it?
That is certainly an interesting shot there. Thank you, Ray W., for that. And David, thank you. We'll see you shortly for more. Thank you, sir. All right, the man charged with kidnapping 3 Ohio women and holding them captive may not have committed suicide as first thought. Prison guards found Ariel Castro hanged in his cell last month. New tonight, those guards are sharing more about what they saw when they found him, and it is pointing to something other than suicide. Turns out his death could have been an accident. A new report from the Ohio Department of Corrections suggests Castro was masturbating while choking himself into unconsciousness. It's called autoerotic asphyxiation. Actor David Carradine died this way back in 2009, you'll recall. Guards found Castro with his pants and underwear pulled down and pictures of his family lying on the floor around him along with a Bible. Investigators say a mental health evaluation in Castro's actions before his death revealed no motive or any suggestion he may have been planning to commit suicide. Tonight's News Squad pulling together 4 more stories that happened not too far from where you are tonight. Another delay, a detective's plea, an appeal lost, and protecting your identity. In Pitt County, after weeks of delays, former state lawmaker Stephen LaRoque will have to wait another month to find out if he'll get a second chance. In June, a jury convicted him of stealing taxpayer money and trying to cover it up. But now he wants a retrial based on juror misconduct. In Greenville, a former narcotics detective accepts a plea bargain. Rose Edmonds made a deal with the state attorney general to avoid a trial. She admits she destroyed evidence. Without the deal, she would have faced questions about stealing thousands of dollars in confiscated drug money. Fort Bragg, a judge denies Brigadier General Jeffrey Sinclair an appeal. He's facing court-martial for charges he pressured a female captain in his command to have sex with him. His attorneys asked a judge to throw it out because the military is actually pressuring the prosecution. That's denied. His court-martial moves forward January 7th. And Jacksonville, hundreds came out to the Night on Your Side Caring for Carolina Shred-a-thon today. The trucks took in pounds and pounds of paper at the Jacksonville Mall. Shredding those old documents is a great way to keep your identity safe, and we're happy to be part of that effort. To learn more about these stories or to send us a news tip of your own, please click on our website, WNCT.com. Vidant Health offers big money to 2 counties after choosing to close a rural hospital. Pungo Hospital in Belhaven will shut down later this year. Vidant plans to replace it with a 24/7 care clinic. Its spokesperson says the new clinic can do everything the hospital does, except, of course, keep patients overnight. Today, Vidant offered Hyde County $250,000 to buy new ambulances and $500,000 to Beaufort County to pay for high-level first responders qualified to treat more situations at the scene. It's now up to each county to decide if they agree with these changes. A Greenville school evacuates after 3 students pass out in class. This happened today at the Oakwood School. Administrators first thought this was a gas leak, but now they say otherwise. 9 on your side's Andrew Ruiz finds out what happened.
Overall, the school sent 7 students to the hospital, 3 that fainted and 4 others experienced dizziness. But after a thorough inspection of the building, school officials are now suggesting a presentation to donate blood may have caused the scare. Parents rushed to the Oakwood Upper School early Thursday morning after hearing that 3 students passed out.
Driving by, I asked the question. I didn't know what was going on.
School officials say the incident happened while students attended a morning meeting. A letter from the head of school says they were hearing a presentation on how to donate blood.
This guy standing right beside me passed out.
Bethany Garrison was there when one of her classmates dropped to the floor.
I was like, holy cow, did he just fall or did he pass out?
In all, 7 students were taken to the hospital. At first, reports suggested that potential gas leaks was the likely cause. Windows and doors remained open as a precaution.
Students were in the upper school and they were evacuated to the main campus.
Greenville Utilities responded to check out the problem. Police say utility crews swept the building with firefighters using detection devices and found no gas leak. They also checked all air quality related systems and found no problems either. Rob Peterson, the head of school, says the building tested well, and so far there aren't any signs to indicate environmental causes. The school released its 8th to 12th graders to their parents as a precaution. Doctors also confirmed that they have treated and released the students that were taken to the hospital. In the newsroom, Andrew Ruiz, 9 on your side.
Eating well for a good cause. Hundreds in Greenville. 8 like kings tonight. Coming up, who their meals helped keep as healthy as possible. Plus, a high school athlete found dead, rolled up in a gym mat. It happened at his school. Officials say he died by accident, while his parents say there's a cover-up going on and they can prove it.
Well, a weekend is just around the corner. Your Friday forecast and those rain chances. We'll be right back with more.